Hi everybody, I'm Jen and I am paranoid. Welcome to my green room. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back. It's good to see you. So today I'm going to talk about the greatest craft project of my life. All the things I crafted or created or worked on for my wedding. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to show you is a cross stitch that I did. Now this isn't mine because the pattern is made in such a way that you could put your own name and your husband's name and the date you're getting married. But I found a picture on the internet I wanted to show you. Mine actually is framed and up in my house, but every time I try to take a picture of it, it doesn't come out nice, and the glare from the glass, I don't know. I'm just not, it just did not come out well. But I was happy to find a picture on the internet to show you the pattern. So if you can see by the picture, you will guess the theme of my wedding was Western. And I had the idea to cross stitch this pattern, have it framed and then displayed at my wedding. I don't have a picture of it, but the picture, the framed cross stitch, was displayed on the table where you would sign the guest book. And on either side of this framed cross stitch, I had made copies of my parents, a wedding picture of my parents toasting, and then also the picture of my husband's parents at their wedding doing a toast. So I had their wedding photos on either side of this framed cross stitch print along with the guest book. Next item I'm going to talk about are the bouquets. I had gone to Michael's craft store and I saw they had displays on top of samples of bouquets, and I saw this bouquet, my bouquet, had been done, sort of I copied it in my colors. My colors for the wedding were burgundy and hunter green, and I went and just bought the flowers when they were on sale. Now I did the test on my bouquet first. I wanted to see if I could make a bouquet, and mine turned out so great that I went ahead and did my matron of honor bouquet and the bridesmaids bouquet, and I had worked really hard on my bouquet, so I was really proud of it and I didn't want to throw that away. So what I did for the throwaway bouquet was I had a big rose. All my roses were like fabric roses. I guess that doesn't need saying, but there it is. So I took a large rose and then I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 smaller roses, and I made a bouquet. So when I held it, all these roses together, and then when I threw it up for all the single ladies to catch, the roses split up and went flying everywhere. So I don't know, I kind of felt bad that if I threw a bouquet that only one person got it. So I wanted to give a chance to a number of people to catch something of the bouquet for the wedding. So that's what I did. I did 1 big rose and then 5 smaller roses, and I threw them all up so they separated. It was everybody was all surprised. Okay, next picture I'm going to show you is I made gift bags to give you know, the gifts you give to your groomsmen and your bridesmaids. So I got these just paper bags from Michael's, and for the guys also got cowboy themed napkins, and I decoupaged them to one side of the bag, and then there's this craft glue that it when it dries, it dries sticky, and then you can put foil on top of it. And so I did that. I made one for each of them, and I did the glue written out in their name. For the bridesmaids and matron of honor, I did bags. These are the best pictures I found, and they didn't come out very well. What I did for their bags was I just drew designs and hearts and their initials on the bags. So I made those bags for the gifts we were going to give to our wedding party. The next picture I have is the corsages and boutonnieres for the parents of the bride and groom. You know, after I did my bouquet, I was pretty confident that I could do all the flowers for the wedding party. So I went ahead and did I had larger flowers for the mother and the father of the bride, the mother of the groom and the father of the bride, and then their spouses. And as well, I did the flowers. I did the flowers for the groom's side of the wedding party. This is my husband's that he wore. I don't know. I'm sorry. I totally forgot. I talked about the bouquet and I didn't even show it. Of course, I still have my bouquet. So I'll show you my bouquet. There it is. So it has some burgundy and forest green tulle, burgundy roses, white roses, burgundy tulle all interwoven around, and then ivy was my sort of the accent plant. Store my bouquet in a pillowcase. Now, but it's not just any pillowcase. This is a pillowcase from the airline, the flight that we took on our honeymoon. So this is just a little aside, cute little story I'm just going to share with you. So the story of this pillowcase is on our flight out to our honeymoon. I had bought t-shirts for my husband and I to wear. My t-shirt said "Tis the Bride" and it had a picture of the Claddagh ring on it. I'll tell a story about the Claddagh ring after. My husband had a t-shirt as well, and it had the Claddagh ring on it. It said "Tis the Groom." So we wore these t-shirts on the flight to Ireland. We went to Ireland for our honeymoon, and the flight crew, the head of the flight crew, saw that we were wearing these t-shirts, and during the flight she came by and she presented us with a bottle of champagne wrapped in this pillowcase, and on it she had written "Congratulations" with a big heart with an arrow through it, "From the crew on Air Canada Flight 888. And so that's what I store my bouquet in. We were asked if we wanted to go up to the flight deck. The captain had invited us up to the flight deck, and I know that won't happen anymore nowadays, so I think that was a really special memory for us to go up to the flight deck and talk to the captain and the co-pilot who were flying us to our honeymoon. So that's the bouquet. Okay, I'm gonna go on here. The next picture I have is of our teddy bear in flower girl basket. So I made the flower girl basket and I decorated it with some lace and a burgundy and a white flower and some hunter green ribbon, and it had some hunter green ribbon and white ribbon dangling from it. And for the little teddy bear, I stitched up a little jean vest and had a little burgundy rose on his lapel, and the intention was to tie the rings to the bear's vest. But my little nephew at the time, he was not the best walking down the aisle. I mean, he was swinging this little bear around by its paw. So we decided before the wedding that he wouldn't carry the rings, and it was a good thing he did, because he was just whipping that little bear around all over the place. So the next item I'm going to show you is the wishing well. Now, there's also a little story to the wishing well. I made the wishing well from scrap cardboard. Totally my own design. I had seen wishing wells that you could buy at Michael's and other craft stores, but I wanted to make my own, because I had at work there was always scrap cardboard, and we were getting it every month with printing jobs. So I started saving this scrap cardboard, and I put together this wishing well just kind of like haphazard. I had no plan. It was just a design I just kind of came up with myself. So the wishing well is all made out of cardboard, and then I had spare pieces of wooden dowel, and I made supports for the roof, and the roof is cardboard. Then I had all these tiny little dollhouse cedar shingles. I don't know what craft I was ever going to do with them, but I decided I was going to shingle the roof of this. Well, that took a while. Lots of swearing. But the wishing well, the wishing well is also decorated with lots of ivy dangling over top of the roof and down the side, burgundy roses, white flowers, moss. I can't remember what it's called. I'm not sure if it's called Spanish moss, or anyway, it's got it at the Michael's store, and had little mushroom birds nested in it. And also in this picture is showing a little horse, and I bought a little cowboy hat. I have him right here. I bought this little cowboy hat at Michael's, and then I glued some lace around the front of the hat, and then on the back a train of tulle. And I made pearls in the tulle by using white paint, so when it dries it would look from afar like pearls. So I'm not sure, I'm pretty sure we still have the wolf, but I couldn't find it for the life of me. I don't know where. My husband might have stored it. But I also bought a little black cowboy hat for the wolf, and a little bandana. So as well too, as part of our Western theme, we incorporated our two favorite animals. My husband loves wolves and I love horses. So that's why there's a wolf and a horse. And those toys were sitting on our wedding table, I believe, our head table. I don't know if this was a great coup, but I found paper that was printed on one side that it looked like jean material and was blank white on the other. So what I did was take clip art from, I think, Corel Draw, and I put of course my favorite animal, the horse, one side, and the wolf head, part of the wolf head peeking out for my husband. Now I did this little poem. I was inspired to write this by the song The Prairie Oysters. I'm trying to remember. I think the title of the song is The Stars Shone Brighter. I'll put it in the description here, the song that I was inspired to create this phrase from. So the phrase I wrote is, the stars shone brighter on the night we met. The moonlight sparkled in the dew. A songbird sang in my heart when we kissed, and I fell in love with you. So go check out the Prairie Oyster song, The Stars Shone Brighter. I really like the tune, and I'm so glad I was inspired to buy that song to write the little phrase that I use for my wedding invitation. Okay, so now on the inside of The wedding invitation. Of course, I'm just going to show you the important parts. So I took the same drawings, the same clip art of the horse head and the wolf head, and I put them closer together into gold rope circles. And the colors for the font I used again were the colors I had for the tulle, the colors for my wedding, burgundy and hunter green. And I wrote on, of course, the theme was Western, dress was blue jeans, cowboy hats, stuff like that. I mean, we actually didn't have a confirmed dress code. We encouraged people, if anybody asked, what do you want us to wear? I'd say, yeah, if you have a cowboy hat, wear it. Don't go out. I said, don't go out and buy anything. Wear your jeans. I mean, even if they came in shorts, I didn't matter to me. A lot of people came in shorts and t-shirts, and then a lot of people really dressed up. They went to town. They got they got Western shirts and dresses and cowboy hats and bandanas. I mean, they had fun with it. And at our ceremony, it's not a craft project I did, but it was an idea that my father had, and that I'll share with you. For a good number of the seats for the guests of our wedding, they sat on hay bales. My dad had gotten some hay bales from someone, and they were all just like decorated in rows in the backyard. And then we had lawn chairs and patio chairs. I mean, we just everybody loved it. And well, anyway, moving on. Now the next picture I'm going to show you is the wedding program. Now again, I used the same paper that was jean on one side and white on the opposites for the cover. And on the front of it, I put clip art of rings, and then I put the images of our ring design on the clip art, well, along with some wedding bells. I guess that's a good as time as any to talk to you about the wedding ring design. Of course, I didn't craft the rings, but I did come up with the design. My mother had the idea of putting a horseshoe and then putting a wolf paw print in the middle. So I mean, I did try and do some drawings, but this is what I ended up coming up with. Was for my ring, the bride's ring, there'd be a wolf paw in the print in the middle and two horseshoes on the side. And for my husband's ring, there'd be the single horseshoe in the middle and two wolf paw prints on either side. And that is what we have. I hope the picture, you could see it. It's really nice. The metal I wanted to have for my wedding rings, if I ever got married, was to have white gold, because my mom had a white gold ring and I always loved it. But when we were talking to the jeweler about designing our rings, he had suggested, he said that if we put white gold on white gold, the horseshoes wouldn't show up. And he really wanted to make the design pop for us. So he suggested that the horseshoes would be in gold on a white gold background with the wolf paw print in the middle or on either side, as the case would be for each ring. And bordering the white gold would be yellow gold. So there's a band of gold, yellow gold, on the top and the bottom of the design. Anyway, so that's the story of why the design of the rings have the wolf and the horseshoe, because it relates to the wedding rings that we got designed. So inside, I'm not going to show it to you, but I have a picture. My husband and I had gone to a Western theme park and did one of those photos where you dress up in the Western gear and they take your old-timey photo. Yeah, I included that photo. It's kind of cringy, so I'm not going to show it. Inside the program, I had, the next was how we met, a little story, and I had a little clip art of a cowboy and a cowgirl. And I had the story of the clatter ring. So I had told my husband, my boyfriend at the time, I used to wear this clatter ring. So I don't know if anybody knows the story of the clatter ring, but the way you would wear the clatter ring would denote the state of a person's heart. So I had been wearing the crown turned towards my heart, so pointing at me, on my right hand. And that meant my heart was as yet unoccupied, so I was single and not even considering dating. Wearing the ring with the crown turned away from the heart and still on the right hand meant that the person was considering a love or dating. So he took off the ring off my right hand, and as he turned it around, he asked me to start dating him. Sorry, look, sorry, cringy, I know. So in the wedding program, after the story of the clatter ring, I had written, "Today the clatter ring will be moved to my left hand, crown turned outwards to show that the two hearts cannot be separated." Then on the following pages, I had some ivy decoration, and I listed the wedding party and the order of ceremony. And the last two pages, because I had to use up the blank pages for something, I found these recipes. And the first one, again, the drawing at the bottom is clip art from Corel Draw. It features in again in another decoration, another craft. But this was the happy home recipe. 4 cups of love, 2 cups of loyalty, 3 cups of forgiveness, 1 cup of friendship, 5 tablespoons of hope, 2 heaping teaspoons of tenderness, 2 cups of kindness, 1 cup understanding, 4 quarts of faith, 1 barrel of laughter. Take love and loyalty, mix it thoroughly with faith and forgiveness, blend it with tenderness, kindness, and understanding. Add friendship and hope, sprinkle abundantly with laughter, bake it with sunshine, serve daily with generous helpings. And then on the facing page, the following page, I had recipe for happy marriage. 1 cup consideration, 1 cup of courtesy, 2 cups flattery, carefully concealed, 2 cups of human kindness, 1 gallon faith in God and each other, 3 teaspoons pure extract of I'm sorry, 1 cup each of confidence and encouragement, 1 cup blindness to each other's faults, a generous dash cooperation, 1 small pinch in-laws, 2 cups praise, 1 reasonable budget, 1 cup contentment, 1 child at least, 1 large or several small hobbies. Flavor with frequent portions of recreation and a dash of happy memories. Stir well and remove any specks of jealousy, temper, or criticism. Never serve with a cold shoulder or hot tongue. Sweeten well with generous portions of love and keep warm with a steady flame of devotion. Those are just 2 I found somewhere off the internet. I can't cite my sources. I apologize because it's over 20 years ago. And on the final page, the back cover of the program, clip art from Corel Draw. We would like to thank you for sharing in and acting as witnesses to our marriage. You have all made our special day more memorable. A special thank you to our parents for their love and support. This special day would not have been possible without all the help and encouragement we had from our friends and family. Then the next item I'm going to show you, I don't have pictures of the actual item, but I made page numbers for the table. But instead of numbers, again, didn't want somebody thinking, well, I'm sitting at table 10 and they're sitting at table 2. Some people have a thing with numbers. I decided instead of table numbers, I would use the names of country singers. Excuse me, the dog is ticking around behind me. So instead of table numbers, what I decided to do was use the names of country singers of songs, names of country singers. I used again the picture from Corel Draw, but this time in color. So the wagon train, and then in the giant open cloud space I put the name of the singer. So then what I did was cut out the picture, and then I glued them back to back around a bamboo skewer, and then I stuck the skewer in a miniature hay bale. So you can get miniature hay bales at Michael's, and that's, I hope you could still get them if you decide to do that idea. Anyways, it was a miniature hay bale with the signs stuck in the hay bale, and then I had a big card with all the singers' names. So instead of sitting at table 4 or table 7, you were sitting with Garth Brooks, you know, or you were sitting with Vince Gill. So I thought that was I thought it was a cute idea. I still have this picture. I have this picture of Vince Gill. My mom said, I want to sit at Vince Gill's table. Vince Gill is my favorite. I have to sit at Vince Gill's table. So my parents and my husband's parents sat at Vince Gill's table. And on a little side note, for my parents' wedding dance, the song they danced to was Vince Gill's Look at Us. So I think the final picture the final thing I'm going to show you is a table decoration I made. It just sat in front of the wedding cake, and I think it's part of a bouquet, but I just folded it flat, and because it has wire in it, and I wired together, or actually not wired together, I used floral tape, and I added on some more flowers and ivy, and I think you could see it in the decoration. There was this glue, I don't remember the brand name or what type it was, but when these drops of glue would dry, they would dry clear and they looked like water. So what I did was I put little dabs of this glue all over this bouquet, so it looked like, it made the flowers more real and that they'd been spritzed with water. So that was part of the decoration. So another thing I did for my wedding was I created all the thank you cards and the RSVP cards. So I bought stamps. I'm trying to remember. I don't have any samples of the RSVP cards or the invitation cards, but I just gotten cards, white cardstock at Michael's, and I'd gotten some stamps. And so this one is Celebrate Our Wedding stamp with ivy. And then I had 3 other stamps so those were the other stamps that I had used as decorations. And now I did find a sample that I had done. I'll tell you what I used. This was the experiment. I was testing it out before I committed to doing all this stamping on the cardstock, the cards itself. But what I had used was green ink, and then I used this embossing powder, emerald green embossing powder. See the price? Sure, it's not that price anymore. Anyway, this was all right. So what you do is, after you stamp your design down, then you use the embossing powder. You sprinkle that on the still wet ink, and then use a heat gun similar to this, and you pass it over the embossing powder until it raises up so you could feel the lettering. Anyways, that's what I did for my RSVP cards and the thank you cards. This is the final thing I did was I just took I had a the wedding guest booklet, and I just glued some burgundy and hunter green ribbon. Just a simple little touch of the wedding colors to a stock item, just to personalize it for my wedding. Of course, you know, I had a year to plan this out. I did a lot of testing, had a lot of times where I was so mad. I'm thinking, why am I doing this crafting? Why am I making all these flowers? Why am I doing all these invitations and stamping and designing? But in the end, it really was a labor of love. I really enjoyed it. I loved doing all the crafting, even if I did have some trouble sometimes. It was really a great thing that I enjoyed doing. Oh, I almost forgot to show you. My wedding hat. Now this is to show you you don't need a lot of money to have something nice. I mean, it's kind of yellowed now with age, but this hat I bought at a souvenir store for $7 US over 20 years ago, and I took it to the place where I got my wedding dress, and it's a Western style wedding dress. I'll put a picture in here. It has a handkerchief hem, and I got an ivory colored dress because it went well with the hat, this hat, because the shop owner, she glued this little bit of trim on the edge of the hat, and as well as on the hat itself, and the flowers here and the poof off the end is actually my sister's wedding headdress. So she had a hat band with a little poof at the back. She had a headband. She had a headband with a poof at the back and then the train. And so the shop owner, she put the headband around the brim of the hat, and then the poof, and then the train hung off the back. And it was, and it's still very pretty. I love this hat. I mean, I'm willing to sell the wedding dress, but I still can't give up my hat. Anyway, that is the last thing. That is the very last thing I'm going to show you. I'm gonna get editing this video. Yeah, it was the greatest craft project of my life. I really love doing it. And would I do it again? I would love to help somebody. I wouldn't mind crafting again, helping them out, making flowers, wrapping them up with floral tape. Yeah, that'd be a fun thing to do. Maybe. I say that now. Thanks for watching. Bye.